I want to bring in Minnesota Congresswoman Kelly Morrison. She and her colleagues, Ilhan Omar and Angie Craig, were denied entry to an ICE detention center in Minneapolis over the weekend. Congresswoman, can you explain to us what happened when you went to that federal facility?
Of course. So Congresswoman Omar Craig and I presented ourselves to the Whipple building to perform what is both our legal right and our constitutional duty to perform congressional oversight of this ICE facility. As you know, there's been a surge of ICE agents in our communities and in our state. It is sowing chaos and confusion and fear and terrorizing our communities. And we went there because we need transparency. You know, we lost Renee Good. She was killed in broad daylight, unarmed, in her car, mother of three. And they are now saying they want to do an investigation that excludes local law enforcement. You know, Minnesota has been through a series of tragedies over the past year. When my former friend and colleague Melissa Hortman and her husband were assassinated, there was a joint investigation with the feds and local law enforcement. When we had a mass shooting at Annunciation Catholic School, same thing. We had a cooperation between the feds and local law enforcement. There is no reason why we can't have a transparent investigation that involves local law enforcement as well as federal agencies so that we can get transparency and accountability. We need a thorough investigation.
The governor and the state attorney general have been very vocal about how this is not what typically happens. So I want to ask you about something else atypical. The day after the shooting of Renee Good, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced updated restrictions on congressional visits, requiring that the requests come either 7 days in advance or get her personal approval. Why do you believe that policy was changed, and is there anything you can do about it?
Well, that's certainly confusing, I think, to all of us, because we arrived holding the recent court case that is 3 weeks old that upheld our right to do our constitutional duty of oversight. The ICE agents that we interacted with shrugged that off and said, basically, too bad, you have to leave. So the thing that I think is sort of interesting is not only did congressional leadership not know about this new policy, not only did House counsel not know about this new policy, not only did the American public not know about this new policy, the ICE agents, Kristi Noem's ICE agents on the ground in Minnesota did not know about this new policy. So I'm left to wonder if perhaps that was a backdated policy. But either way, you know, Chris, I'm a physician, and of course medical offices and hospitals are often subject to surprise visits. You think about restaurants and local health agencies. You don't give 7 days notice because you can clean things up. The point is to arrive at a random moment so you can get the best sense of whether the rules and regulations are being followed. So it's hard to square the timeline that Secretary Noem has presented to us.
I wonder what you make of the statement that DHS put out that Nnamdi just read for us, because these accusations that people are being picked up, we again just heard about a woman just being taken from a bus stop, that they are racially profiling, to which they said that they are following the rules, which is they should have a reasonable suspicion that someone is illegally in the U.S., not their skin color. What's your sense of that, and who might be in that facility that you want to be able to look at?
Well, I would say that statement reflects the reaction to all of the footage of Renee Good's killing. They are asking us to not believe what we are seeing with our own eyes. If you talk to anyone on the ground in Minneapolis and in the Twin Cities metro area, they will tell you that people of color, people of Latino descent, are afraid to go to school. They are afraid to go to work. They are afraid to go to church. And we are seeing indiscriminate takings of people by this masked secret police that is ICE. They are wanting to create this secret police force that has no accountability and no transparency. And I think the American public needs to ask itself, is this the country that we want to live in? We are a country of laws, and it's what has distinguished us from the rest of the world. And I think most Americans want to live in a country that follows the rule of law and the Constitution.
Congresswoman, we're out of time, but are you ticked off about this, the fact that Congress is not allowed to do its job?
Of course I am. But you know what, Chris? Congress could do its job. Republicans who control the majority in the House and the Senate and the White House could stop this. If they would step up together, they could put a stop to this. So, Minnesota has been through an unbelievable series of tragedies, but we are a resilient and compassionate and kind state. I'm really proud of the people of Minnesota right now, but enough is enough. I am ticked off, to put it mildly.
Congresswoman Kelly Morrison, you are not alone among the people in your state. Thank you so much for coming on the program.